One of these days, I'm gonna get this angled in such a way that I don't have to constantly adjust it. I have returned to the Ace. I don't know why I'm doing this as if I don't do this every week. 3 times, in fact, a week. Although one time this game. What am I going into a ramble about unnecessary things? Hey, Wumbo! Welcome to the ramble about unnecessary things. It has begun. The great Ace Attorney Chronicles returns. I think we were in the middle of a trial last time. Oh yeah, there was like a smoke bomb. Like someone showed up with a smoke bomb. And they were like, clear the room! So, cliffhanger. So, time to pull ourselves up from that cliff and stop hanging, shall we? February 18th, 12:52 p.m. The Old Bailey Defendant's Antechamber. What on earth just happened in there? Mr. Naruhodo. Okay, also, update. It has come to my attention via YouTube comment that I'm a fucking idiot. They didn't say that. They were very nice about it. So the constant shifting between like Japanese honorifics and the Mr. Miss whatever, it's intentional. It is to like differentiate between them speaking English and Japanese. It makes perfect sense. I'm a fucking idiot. It did not even occur to me that was why that was happening. But that's why that's happening. So I'm gonna go ahead and just like read it as it is instead of doing this thing. Like, apparently that's what that means. So she's saying Mr. Naruhodo, that means she's speaking English right now. Good old localization, not making things difficult, but then again, I'm like, I can't even say like, oh, it's their fault. No, I'm just dense. Mr. Naruhodo, I've managed to find out what happened. Mr. Sada, I was told it was an advanced form of smoke grenade, a type of exploding device that releases smoke. A smoke grenade? It sounds like the sort of thing that ninjas use. They're just making sure everything is safe now. I think the trial will start again before long. But who would have done something like that? The police managed to catch someone who was trying to flee the courtroom, apparently. Flee the courtroom? Why? Oh yeah, there was also, we had just had that revelation that there was a child at the scene of the crime. That the defendant failed to mention. There's just low in That is the most backhanded compliment I've ever received. Thank you. That is the most... Wow. Thank you. And also, fuck you. I kid. Also, hi. Well, it's a young girl of around 15, I hear. A young girl? Then could it be the other passenger that Mr. McGilded was just talking about? My thoughts exactly. So he wasn't lying. Oh, what's become of Mr. McGilded, actually? There are so many things I need to ask him about, but he's not here. And I think he was summoned to the prosecutor's antechamber to answer questions. Fuck you too. I appreciate that. It was very funny. I appreciate it. Listen, I know I have low int and high, like, but I didn't know I had high ka. So I appreciate that. The fact that I mean, apparently I have high ka. I'm doing, I don't know, people seem to like my cha-cha. Cha-cha real smooth. Okay, I'm done. So stupid. Along with the young girl. Who is she, I wonder? And what was she even doing here at the trial? She was taking a huge risk, and for what possible benefit to herself? There's another matter that's troubling me. What's that? The 20 pence. Hmm? Oh, according to the coachman, Mr. Beppo. He took 4 passengers that night at a fare of 5 pence each. That comes to a total of 20 pence exactly. But now it seems there were in fact 5 passengers. Which means the figures don't seem to add up again. She's right. This is strange. That is strange.
Counsel for the defense, kindly proceed into the courtroom. The trial will recommence in 5 minutes.
Oh, thank you, officer. We'll go in straight away. I wonder if she was like a stowaway. He knows a thing or two about stowing away. Well, whoever she is, I imagine this young girl will be asked to take the stand and testify now. I really can't imagine what she's going to say, but it could alter the whole direction of the trial. We'll know soon enough, Miss Usato. Yes. (1 p.m.) That whole conversation only took 8 minutes? Wow. I say that, I just looked over, it's been 8 minutes since I started streaming. Wow, that's... Never mind, I'm dumb. Like, exactly 8 minutes when I looked. That's crazy. Oh shit, hello. There's the young girl next to Mr. McGilded, look. She must have been the one who caused the disturbance before.
Well, after that rather eventful recess, the court will now resume the trial of Mr. Magnus McGilded. Now then, Lord Van Zeeks. My lord. I believe you have established the cause of the smoke which veiled proceedings earlier.
It seems to have been an advanced form of smoke grenade, of the sort typically employed by the army.
Good gracious! The army? What in the devil's name?
It was an elaborate attempt by a young girl to cloak her escape from the public gallery, but she was caught. And now occupies the stand.
Your name, girl? Are you responsible for the smoke grenade which induced such pandemonium here in my courtroom? What is the meaning of this deplorable behavior?
If I may, my lord.
Yes, Mr. McGilded?
I think perhaps I ought to explain here why it is this wee lass was here in the first place, and why she tried to bolt like that. It is all tied up with the events of that night, so it is.
Very well, Mr. McGilded. Give your testimony. You will explain to the court exactly how this young woman is involved in the case.
Just what did happen that night? It's not like a defense lawyer needs that information or anything. Yeah, totally not. He's sweating milk. The young girl. On the night in question, I took the back seat in the omnibus and promptly nodded off. Then wow, Googling already. I'm just... How does this keep happening? What the fuck is Begora? Begora? I mean, it's clearly some kind of like Irish... an expression of surprise or emphasis, sometimes used to suggest that someone sounds Irish. I mean, Begora! He's after me like a charms. Oh my god. Computer, stop it. A loud thud and a wee scream woke me up with a fair start. There was a fella collapsed on the floor at me feet, so I sat him up on the seat across from me. Then I turned to find out where the scream had come from, and bless my soul, what did I find? There was a child in there, all curled up in a ball, hiding her wee self away. Well, that explains why she didn't pay the fare. She was hiding.
I remain somewhat baffled, I confess, but from what I gather on the night in question, this young girl was indeed riding in the omnibus. Is that correct?
It is exactly as the defense counsel said. This lass was the fifth passenger, my lord. Look at fucking Naruhodo over there, just...
Very well. The defense may now cross-examine the witness. Are you ready, counsel?
Yes, my lord. Or rather, no. I have no idea where to start. On the night in question, I took the back seat of the omnibus and promptly nodded. Alright, which one of these... Also, let me reacquaint myself with the evidence. What do we got? Got the autopsy report, single stab wound to the abdomen, internal hemorrhaging, picture of the crime scene, one bloody glove. There's ledger. Okay. Allowed that a wee scream woke me up with a fair start. Fella collapsed on the floor at my feet. Set him up from the seat across from it. That seems... Hold it! Let's get some information about that. You sat him up? The victim, you mean? Well, that I did. On the seat across from me, as I said. I could plainly see the poor devil was already gone. And you wouldn't leave a dead man just lying on the floor now, would you? His common courtesy, so it is. I find that a little hard to believe. Ah, Lord Van Zeeks! Now why would that be? You wake to find a man lying dead at your feet in a carriage. Any normal person would hail the cabman. Any upstanding member of London society, that is. Damn. Well now, as you know, I'm in something of a special line of business.
The business of lending money at exorbitant rates of interest.
Unfortunately, my lord, not everyone is thankful for the help I offer them, and some would even see me dead. So I do try, where at all possible, to avoid getting myself in a tangle with trouble. Are you suggesting you were just going to leave the man there? Heavens alive, no! I was always intending to report it, so I was. Only, I had a mind to find out the whys and wherefores first. The whys and wherefores? Right you are. There were some details I wanted to understand before anyone else got to meddling. That wee scream I heard, for example. Wouldn't your good self just do just the same? Yes, the scream he says he heard at the same time as the thought of the victim collapsing. And I turned to find out where that scream had come from. Bless my soul. In where? I assume she was hiding in the area under the seat. Hold it! I suspect we need to, like, get some information. You say she was hiding herself. Aye, that's right. It was hard to see in the dim lamplight, but she was all curled up in a wee ball. When our eyes met, well, my heart nearly stopped beating in my chest. You're really overacting this. Still and all, I pulled her out from under there and sat her on the seat opposite so I could have a wee chinwag with her. The seat opposite? That's right, just next to the dead gentleman there. I was gonna ask, you put her next to the fucking dead guy?
You sat this young girl next to a corpse, sir?
Well, as I'm sure I mentioned, A gentleman in my position can all too often find himself in mortal danger. So, I needed to find out just who this urchin was, you see. And while I was in the middle of talking with her, I heard another scream, a fella's voice this time. Presumably that scream was Mr. First, who was sitting on the roof deck seats. Right you are again, I would say, sir. Looking down through the skylight, he must have seen this young girl and the gentleman with the knife in his belly.
In other words, the previous witnesses did not in fact see you at all, Mr. McGilded. What they believed to be yourself and the victim was in fact this girl and the late Mr. Mason.
Aye, my lord. I was, as I think everyone understands now, sat at the back of the carriage out of sight. Sure be nice if the girl, like, you know, identified herself and spoke.
It's certainly plausible. The defendant is somewhat diminutive in stature, and readily confused, perhaps, with this young girl.
After that, of course, with the scream from the gentleman over us, the driver realized something was wrong and pulled up the horses. I do wonder how you must be feeling, Mr. Naruhodo. Being the defendant's lawyer, and yet finding myself as stunned as everyone else at his testimony? Let's just say it's trying. We certainly had precious little time to talk to Mr. McGilded before the trial. But we mustn't be dispirited. We must try to learn all the facts we can. When we arrived in London this morning, I didn't see my day panning out like this. Mr. Naruhodo, no grumbling, even in your head. Yo, getting thought police, okay. How did you know? I imagine because your face looks like... Well, I guess we'll just press on all the things. And when you first got onto the omnibus, were there any other passengers already on board? There were not. The cabin was empty, and there was no one on the roof deck either.
You were the first passenger, as it were. I see.
Aye, and that's why I took the back side as I did. 'Tis the most comfortable, so it is. Could you explain exactly what you mean by the back seat? By all means. 'Tis how you already described it earlier. I'm talking about the seat opposite and the one in which the poor gentleman who was getting stabbed was sitting. Who was stabbed, was it? Like I said, 'tis the most comfortable and where I feel the most at ease. And of course, I enjoy gazing through the skylight from time to time as well. Thud, and a scream. Hold it! Did I already do this one? A loud thud, you say, and a scream. Aye, that's right. How can I explain it? It was like the sound of someone falling to the ground. That sort of noise. So you think it was the sound of Mr. Mason falling to the floor having been stabbed? Well now, you'll remember I was asleep at the time, so I wouldn't like to say. And when the sound woke me and I opened my eyes, there wasn't a soul to be seen in the carriage but the fellow on the floor. You didn't see anyone. But at the same moment, you did hear a scream.
From the seats above you, on the roof deck, I presume.
Not above me, no, my lord. 'Twas from inside the cabin. But I wasn't altogether thinking about the scream. No, I was too stunned by the desperate sight before my eyes. Okay, so I already pressed on that one. And I turned to find out the scream. Bless my soul, what did I find? What did you find, sir? I'm afraid I don't understand. I'm sure you told the court that there was no one else in the carriage except yourself and the victim. So I did, sir, so I did. As far as I could see, that is. What do you mean by that? Well now, 'tis a queer thing. With the wee scream I heard as I woke up, it came from, if you'll excuse the vulgar expression, under me backside.
Good gracious!
Under your backside? And when I lifted the seat on which I'd been sitting, I found there was a wee cubbyhole there for storage. Mr. Naruhodo, we can examine the omnibus ourselves, remember? Yes, of course. The whole bus was submitted as evidence. Yeah, I already found the little cubbyhole. This would be a very good time to have a thorough look around inside. I mean, I found it already. And that's when I found her. Thank you.
Thank you. I've heard enough. The events as explained are clear in my mind. However, at least one conundrum remains. Who's the girl?
Yeah, it'd be great if she could, you know, identify herself. Her name is Gina Lestrade, my lord. She's a chancer, earns her crust among large crowds, relieving people of their purses. Oh, she's a thief. What's commonly called a pickpocket. What?
This girl here? A petty thief?
Alright, well this, complicates things.
Order! Order! Is this true, Miss Lestrade? Miss Lestrade, you will answer the question.
Oh shit! What the fuck? She got a fucking smoke gun?
Ah! How dare you! What is the meaning of this?
She can't keep getting away with this!
Ah! The girl, she's gone!
Open your eyes! Oh, there she is. I don't know why. I'm over here.
Oh, gracious, how?
Oh god, I'm gonna have to do another voice. What was the point in that little sidestep? I know what you lot are thinking. Grown-ups are all the same. This dirty little dipper, you'll say, slipped up and got caught on the job. She got herself backed into a corner, so she knifed the gent. Go on, that's what's in your heads, ain't it? No, not at all. This is a court of law. We're here to determine the truth, not cast... Yo, Green? Why? Why does she have this? Look, knives are for cowards. Only thugs use weapons like that. All I need for what I do is these fingers. I'm a professional, alright? Maybe not in your eyes, but I got pride in what I do. I'm terrible. These accents are terrible. I'm so bad. Let me guess. You don't count smoke guns among weapons for thugs. Oh, this? Yeah, this was in a bag I lifted the other day. Down where they keep the four-legged... What? Oh my god. They keep the four-wheeled drags. It's nice, isn't it? I like the pink the best.
Oh, do not wave that thing into my direction again!
So, you admit you were riding in the omnibus on the night in question? It's all right, lass. You can tell them the truth now. Alright, yeah. It's just like the Irishman said.
The court accepts this girl, Mrs. Gina Lestrade, as a valid and significant witness in this case. Accordingly, young lady, we will now hear your testimony, if you please. You will tell the court exactly what happened in the omnibus on the night in question.
Alright, if I have to. So I snuck inside the carriage before they hooked up the horses just like always. But it was a right old waste of time. I got nothing to show for my troubles that night. I'll tell ya, you can't see a blind thing in that hiding place. It's pitch in there. Then, after a while, I hear this loud bang. Nearly jumped out of me skin, I did. And the scream just came out. Oh god, I'm slipping into Irish again. It's because of that, this swell found me. It did help me get away, mind. Yes, he let you go.
I fail to understand why you would let this street urchin go, Mr. McGilded.
Oh, 'tis simplicity itself, my lord. You see, she couldn't possibly have killed the other passenger. I knew that for a fact. How? Well, because she was in the seat the whole time. Because he would know that, because in order for her to get out or in the seat, he would have woken up. As I'm sure I said before, sir. I was sitting right on top of the place where she was hiding herself. I think a demonstration. Oh,
I think a demonstration is called for.
This is where I was sat that night.
And the cubby hole of which you have spoken is underneath the seat, I presume?
Indeed.
Yes, it does appear just large enough to accommodate someone of the girl's stature.
Aye, but of course, the wee lass was stuck in there. Because I had parked myself on the seat for the duration.
Oh.
So you see, that's why I lit the last bolt. I knew that if the police found her there, they'd automatically assume she'd done it. But I couldn't live with myself if a young life was ruined, when all the time I knew she was innocent.
Even though you must have realized your action would result in your own innocence being called into question.
Not at all, my lord, not at all. I knew in my own heart that I was innocent. So I thought it was worth taking a punt on my own good name for the sake of this less fortunate lass. My goodness. What a perfect gentleman.
My lord, this fine example of a man cannot possibly be guilty of a heinous crime like this. I'm ashamed of myself for ever doubting you, sir.
Oh shit. Yo, let's go. With calculated reasoning, one arrives clearly to the truth every time. Oh shit. Yo, GG's. I win. The end. Let's go.
Saints alive! All 6 members of the jury consensual in their leaning to a verdict of not guilty?
Mr. Naruhodo, this... well, it must mean... It must mean what? That we're victorious! No, this is Ace Attorney. You don't get... You're, like... Yes, this is how it would work in an actual court of law, but, like... You know... This is Ace Attorney. It's not enough to prove you're, like... demonstrate the, like, non-guilty. You have to find the person who did it. That's how these work. We've won? Are you sure?
Objection!
Bro! I'm sorry, did this man, I know the Ace Attorney series is notorious for people, like, pounding the desk, like, brrr. But, like, this man just axe-kicked his fucking desk. If the sight of my iron-heeled Wellington offends, pray do forgive the discourtesy. Yeah, buddy, you're on thin ice here, dude. This man just fucking... This really is a consummate example of the one monumental flaw in British judicial practices. Where evidence and reasoning should be paramount, emotion rules the day. Bitch, you literally you opened this shit by being like, oh, what a fucking bitch. Like, I'm not gonna prove he did it. I'm not gonna, like, give any evidence that he actually did the crime. I'm just gonna show I'm gonna cast aspersions on his character. Buddy! You can't have it both ways, motherfucker. Emotion? The witness's latest statement gives us a clear insight into his true nature. What do you mean, his true nature? Do you really think Scotland Yard would have made such a glaring omission? After the incident, the omnibus was comprehensively searched by officers of the police. Obviously, the interior of this cubbyhole, as the witness put it, was included in their investigation. The compartment under the posterior seat was full of the coachman's belongings. It's noted in black and white here in the police report. Good Lord! The evidence has been tampered with. In order to corroborate Mr. McGilden's story, someone has unlawfully removed everything from under the seat. What?
Order! Could such a devious contrivance possibly have been effected, Counsel?
Naturally, we must acknowledge the deficiencies of the constabulary in allowing this to have happened. However, I assure you, when the omnibus was wheeled into the courtroom this morning, the compartment under the seat was not empty. Unfortunately, I do remember there being stuff in that compartment. Unfortunately, I can also corroborate that. Because I checked it pretty quickly. Well, my Nipponese friend? Me? When the carriage was submitted as evidence, doubtless you examined it in fine detail as any self-respecting practitioner of the law. Yeah? Pray, what did you find the condition of the underseat compartment to be? Oh, to be sure, the young gentleman will be able to clear this up in a jiffy. Sorry, buddy, like, I ain't gonna lie for you, like, there was stuff in it. Sorry? Go ahead, you tell the court now, fella. How this is all an elaborate excuse by the desperate Lord Van Zieks.
Well, Counsel, do you have something to say on this matter?
How am I supposed to answer? What can I say about the state of that little compartment under the seat in the omnibus? Listen, this is a court of law, and truth is paramount. It wasn't empty. We'll get to the truth, but the fact of the matter is, it wasn't empty. I really don't know if giving this answer is helping my cause as counsel for the defense. But as far as I remember, at least, when I first examined the compartment, I'm fairly certain there were a number of articles inside it, yes.
Are you sure, Counsel?
Be whist! I'm not even gonna bother Googling that one. What are you saying now, you daft doll? I thought you were on my side here. Buddy, like, I'm on the side of truth, man. Truth and fact. What game are you playing? Your task is to defend the man in the stand. Why would you say something to compromise his position? I ain't gonna lie in a court of law. As the advocate for the defense in this trial, I confess I'm still not entirely sure where I stand. But it seems to me that I should state what facts I do know as clearly and honestly as possible. My man. My man. Interesting. 'Tis not altogether pleasant, fella. I'm simply just telling the truth, Mr. McGilded. Well, don't forget that you're supposed to be representing my best interests here, lad. Now then, a fellow's memory is a curious thing, and not altogether reliable. No, the court must consider the facts. Facts. That there cubbyhole under the seat is as empty as the devil's heart, so it is. Do you think perhaps it would be in your best interest to now to admit you might have been mistaken? Why? Why do I feel like something's not right here?
I should like the jury to weigh in on this matter, I think. That compartment is designed to house equipment used to maintain the smooth running of the carriage. The Guild's rules state that the omnibuses should be properly and fully equipped at all times. So it certainly wouldn't have been empty on the night in question. Beppo isn't that irresponsible. That money-lending fleecer and the pick purse are lying.
Oh, good. I can't believe I was nearly taken in. The stinking rich are always stinkers. Nothing but cowards, the lot of them. What? Oh no.
It's a trick. Of course it's a trick.
I don't know. Quite so. I must concur here. You know, for Little Miss fucking facts and logic, she sure is being fucking flippy floppy. With calm, calculated reasoning, I changed my mind yet again, bitch. One arrives clearly at the truth every time. It's too easy. It's too easy. Like, it's not even worth it that time. Yes, but okay. Every time a different truth, it seems. My lord, I humbly exhibited the scales of justice. Clearly, a verdict of not guilty at this time would be wholly inappropriate.
Thank you, counsel. But before we proceed any further, there is the matter of the outstanding cross-examination. Counsel for the defense, begin your questioning of the witness, please.
Yes, my lord. What just happened? The whole balance of the trial just shifted almost beyond recognition. The Reaper of the Bailey is at work, it would seem.